So one of the things I hear the most is, okay, Shaan, I get it. Okay, I get the material. I get how anxiety works. I understood the fight or flight response. I've downloaded your free book. I understand all this stuff, but something just doesn't click. I'm just not able to get this one thing. I'm still stuck. I don't know what's happening. Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you why that's happening. And it may not be what you think. So with that said, let's get it started. So if you're focused on recovery, if you've been following this channel, if you're in the Facebook group, if you've downloaded the book, I commend you. You're really focusing on your recovery journey. And if you haven't done those things, if you're new to the channel, well, the links are all down below. It's all free. It's really information focusing on helping you overcome. That's probably the first place you want to start. That is the first place you want to start. But here's the thing. Sometimes I have people that get very frustrated. I just don't get it. What do I do? Shaan, I'm like, okay, I understand this, but I just feel like, I feel like I'm just stuck somewhere. And I even have people who apply to my mentorship oftentimes when they're wanting to join. That's one of their biggest struggles. I get the information, I get the knowledge, I get the insight, but it just doesn't work. It's not clicking for me. Well, there's a couple of reasons why it's happening. One of the things that naturally happens as being an anxiety sufferer is that you became, and you're focusing on recovery, you can become an information junkie, meaning you're always trying to find information. Information is cool, it's helpful, it's useful. Information will lead to knowledge, but really what a lot of recovery is not just seeking knowledge by itself, but by getting that insight, by getting that revelation of, oh, so this is what I've been doing wrong all along. Now you can't chase that. That happens on its own. But what happens is that people think that their recovery is because they have certain information that's missing, or they just don't understand this one thing, or it's just not able to click. Well, here's the thing. Recovery is not just about information. It's about action. Yeah? I want you to understand something. Recovery doesn't happen behind these screens. Yeah? If you're watching this on your phone or your computer or your tablet or whatever it is, recovery doesn't happen here. Recovery happens when you live your life, yeah? And a lot of these people that talk about how they understand anxiety, once I get to know them, I realize they do know some stuff, right? They know a lot more than they would have, if they hadn't been following the channel. But there's still some missing pieces. There still is. And look, anxiety is very comprehensive, right? There's a lot of things to address. It's not an overnight fix. Healing is like a long-term game plan, but it's heavily focused on action, on response. And so, it's hard to do that on your own, especially when you're figuring it out along the way. And so the thing to understand is recovery happens through action. Knowledge is good. Knowledge just points you in the right direction. But a lot of the recovery questions that you have will get answered on their own as you're responding correctly. People say, okay, Shaan, I'm dealing with, I hear people say, Shaan, I'm like 90% recovered, but I can't deal with this one specific symptom. This one symptom popped up. How do I deal with that? And you may have even had that too. Well, just based on asking that question, I understand that person really doesn't know too much about recovery, because if you've been able to respond correctly to all the other symptoms, why would this symptom be different? Is it part of anxiety? Yeah. How do you deal with it? The exact same way you've been dealing with the other symptoms. Yeah, Shaan, but what if but this one's just really debilitating, or this one's just too bizarre, or this one's just too scary. I understand. But response is still the same. Just because something is hard does not make it an excuse for you not to do something. Yeah? Life isn't about just doing the easy stuff. A lot of what makes life awesome is by doing the things that you know that are right? And so focusing on, once you understand a few principles, put it to the side and live your life. Sometimes it's often a good idea. When people are in the mentorship, they get so much better. There is this phase where they have to detach from the anxiety material in itself. They have to detach because it's just been such a big part of their life that it's consumed so much that part of recovery is by filling in that void with other things. And so they have to detach a little bit. So letting go of the anxiety subject for a little bit as well, as part of the journey. Of course, this is assuming you understand what's happening, how to respond. You have a guide that's guiding you through it. And once you do that, then, detaching from the subject a little bit and recognize that all the questions that you have will get answered on their own during anxiety recovery. A lot of the questions, you guys have to understand that, all I had was 2 books. Those books did not cover everything, just some pieces of some things. How did I figure out the rest? Just living with the anxiety side by side. The anxiety taught me itself. That was it. And so I learned, and I moved on with it, and I adjusted. Now things are different now, right? Now you have guides. You have an opportunity to be guided by somebody. Before I just had some blog forums here and there, nothing too much. Now you have actual people around the world this is all they're doing. This is a full-time job. Literally just helping these individuals. They're not focused on anything else, no other mental health stuff. No, just anxiety. That's it. The same issue you have full-time. So the key should really be, making sure you have guidance. And, it doesn't even have to be my mentorship, but some place where you really trust the person, where you feel like they really understand. They really understand, and they've helped people overcome this before. Yeah, because with anxiety, this, everyone acts like an expert, and anxiety has it's probably one of the most misinformed topics you can possibly think of. Trust me, as somebody who helps people, the amount of information I read, the amount of information I see, that's just flat out wrong about anxiety. It's outrageous. And I've gone through it. I help people. I can differentiate. You're going through this. It's hard. That's why it's always good to get somebody who has gone through this to help you get out of this. So I hope this video helps. I hope it helps you understand a few principles. Remember, a lot of the answers get resolved as you're, living through action. And I understand there's questions along the way. That's why it's always a good idea to have a guide with you or somebody that can guide you, whoever that is. So if you want it to be me, if you want it to be the team, cool. If you want it to be my team, absolutely fine. If not, that's totally cool too. If you do want to be with me and my team, you can apply for mentorship. This is literally all we do. We guide people, they come in, they get better, they move on. That's it. We've pretty much broken it down to a really strong science and system. We're helping countless people around the world. It's just we can really handle overcoming this. And there's no question that we haven't been asked and answered. So if you really want to know, there's a link down below to apply for mentorship. Mentorship is invitation only, really. You can apply. We have to make sure it's a good fit, that it's something that we can help you with. We only want to help people that we can genuinely help. If you're not, we'll tell you right off the bat. And if you're a good fit, we'll help you, and we'll take you underneath my wing and my team's wing, and they'll guide you. A lot of these coaches have become very, very, very confident. Kaylee, Mirka, Caesar, there's all these coaches, Heather, they're strong in their coaching. They're the best. They're the best and the best in the world. In certain aspects, a lot of people in the mentorship even gravitate more towards them than me. And so that's amazing. I wouldn't have it any other way. So if you want to focus on overcoming this, hit the link down below. I hope this video helped, and I'll see you in the next one.